So I think this game, put them on something more sustainable. Ezreal, Lucian, or even Caitlyn, and just let that play out while the solo lanes just play for the comp.
Yeah, I think for me, it makes a little bit more sense to run Impact on blue side, blind pick your top laner, pick a tank, and then on red side, you run Ray, and you can run 1-3-1s, get a counter pick for Jensen so he can run an assassin, and you can split push, and then you can also get Ray on something like a Kennen to go for a split push as well.
Yeah, I think these guys made a lot of good points for the lanes. The jungle as well, I think, is very important. You know, Contracts felt like he got scared away from Lee Sin, even though I thought that has been his best champion in multiple games in the regular season. So I don't think they should be scared to go back to that.
All right, we'll see if C9 can play with the confidence they need then, if they can get themselves back out of the lanes. But we're going to be stepping away for a quick break. But stay tuned to see if C9 can bounce back against this dominant TSM in Game 3. So don't go anywhere. We're about the North American LCS Spring Finals.
Doesn't you think Platinoob have arrested control of the game? TSM have a few acts, but Jensen's just going to go ahead and dive Bjergsen. Bjergsen just can't do anything. Jensen gets the solid goal. Oh my God!
Welcome back to the North American LCS Spring Finals. TSM, you're ready to rock. They have chosen red side and also decided to put Ray back into the lineup. So similar to game one as far as lineups and sides are concerned. Of course, we have also chosen to bring maybe an even better analyst onto the desk. I hope they get your name right. I apologize if it's wrong. Rami Inore Shara. Close, completely wrong.
Better than most.
Better than most. I should have asked you during the commercial break, and I apologize.
Better than most.
Better than most. I'm okay with that. That sounds like my life. Now, of course, before we get into the game, let's check in on some of your responses to how ULCS at home or here in Vancouver. Cloud9 is receiving some energy from @OneBrightLeaf, who says, Reaper carry please, and plenty of people here to join as well.
I mean, if Hanzo said he can play carries better than Ray, tanks better than Impact, can he play better than Reaper? Reaper comes back in?
We'll see what happens. Of course, next up is @Amelia in Detroit, carrying on the proud tradition of cheering for TSM, where they aren't playing at the Joe Louis Arena. And that is looking at
Viewing party?
I would assume
I would assume so. Nice.
There's Sackers in the background. All right, and finally, everyone's favorite @LCS Pigeon found a fan who came prepared for today's game.
He was back in here a second ago. I saw that
pigeon
pigeon.
sighting.
He brought reinforcements this time.
Inori, any thoughts on the pigeon?
It's P1 Pigeon all the way.
P1 pigeon.
You tweeted it was like flying over you.
Yeah, I was sitting there and I would always see it like fly over. So like as I was dead, I would just watch the pigeon harass people in the stands. It was pretty good. I liked it.
I'm glad you did. Well, that's going to be it for that one. Of course, this game 3 coming up. We haven't gotten your thoughts on it yet. Talk to me about what you've seen so far and what you think's coming into game 3.
I came to this desk for the reverse sweep.
Okay.
And I believe in Cloud9.
All right. Perfect. We'll see if it happens. We'll see if C9 can bring home game 3. Let's send it down to the casters.
Welcome back, everyone, to Game 3 of Cloud9 versus TSM. It's been a tough start for Cloud9 here, and that's a pretty gross understatement. The fastest game ever in the NALCS Finals was Game 2. And Cloud9, we're going to use the word again, time to reset once more.
I think it's fair to say TSM is playing better than most. They're looking incredibly good in the first 2 games.
Fastest win in NALCS Finals history was their Game 2 victory over C9. It's prompted another roster swap by C9. They're putting Ray back in. They figured the ban 4 carries to put a tank versus tank matchup and still lose it wasn't worth it. So they're going to swap it back again this time. And you can see, I actually don't see them in their chairs right now, so they may be a little late getting back to stage. They have a lot to recover from. After those defeats, you could see the player shots right after the game. Contracts looked a little out of sorts. He's been pretty much invisible in this series, and you can say that about pretty much everyone on C9.
I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of pressure on Ray and Contracts, I think.
In this series, and you can say that about pretty much everyone on C9.
I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of pressure on Ray and Contracts, I think, in particular, in this game. They have to win 3 straight to have a chance in this series, and, you know, Double is talking about it on the desk. Give the C9 bot lane something that can kind of succeed on their own, that doesn't need follow-up or doesn't need a gank, doesn't need help. Allow them to try to make something happen, and we'll see if they are going to go back for that.
All right, Cloud9 walking in. You can see still all smiles. Going to have to make sure everyone's mentality stays healthy. And that's kind of the thing for me is, when I think of leaders on this team, I think of Smoothie, absolutely big vocal voice. Impact, I know, was a huge presence for the team last split in summer. And Reaper is definitely a guy that can get behind the teams. He's a pro player. He's been there before. He knows how much it sucks to lose. So C9 need to group together and kind of get that leadership going and just play together as best they can.
They do, but it is a bit of a concern for me, you know, looking at Jensen too. This is a guy who has been compared to Bjergsen his entire career, who wants so badly to prove that he is the better player. And, you know, last year in Toronto, seeing how devastated he was after their loss there, seeing how effective he was after a missed dive on Bjergsen in Game 2. Can he recover and actually bounce back in a way that he needs to?
And it's tough not to kind of relive those emotions when you have another high-profile miss when the game goes awry. You can see the crowd still cheering him back onto the stage. Plenty of C9 fans in attendance right now. You have to look at the other side with TSM right now. And this is when the killer instinct has to kick in. You just had the fastest win in NALCS Finals history and beaten C9 worse than you've almost ever beaten them with any of your lineups. So TSM, 1 game away, need to just continue their groove of what they've had so far this series.
Yep, and for Cloud9, stop the bleeding. Get a game on the board, kind of really boost that mentality up.
But they haven't been able to today.
Exactly, they can in the NALCS studio. Playing in the finals, no matter where it is, always has a different energy about it. And that's when you talk about clutch players. And these are the moments that people really remember. I mean, Doublelift mentioned at the very start of the day, you can have a split worth of good plays, but people will only remember your bad plays in the final. 1 bad play can undo all of that. So that's what C9 kind of has to deal with. And it's not over yet. If you get a reverse sweep, no one remembers those first 2 games. It's all about the next 3 that you win.
That's true. like Jensen said, it's just all about, no one cares about second. It's just about winning. However, we are going to toss it back over the analyst desk before we get our game underway.
Thank you very much, Pastry Time. Yes, I wanted more time in the light here. We kicked Zyrene off. I kicked him off because he was right about his analysis that Ray was coming in. And
He predicted Cloud9 to win, though. Not looking too good.
reverse sweep, Nori was calling it. So we're going to wait till that happens. So let's talk about the fact that Ray is back in. And Nori, to start with you, I actually don't know if you played against him. I forget when he subbed in against
Cloud9 to
him or
win,
not.
though.
But,
Not looking too good.
reverse sweep, Nori was calling it. So we're going to wait till that happens. Him coming in here. So let's talk about the fact that Ray is back in. And Nori, to start with
Carry player. He has a lot of strength.